homes, but we just never take the time to get to know what they're meant for. The rivets in our jeans, that secret drawer at the bottom of the oven. Why exactly are they there? For this installment, we've gone through some common objects to pinpoint the little aspects about them you may never knew had an actual use. So, here are the 10 things you never knew the use for. Before we change your world completely with this information, why not lend a hand to help change ours? Be sure to subscribe and click the bell for notifications on future Top 10 archives. Number 10. Jean rivets. There was once a time when most work was done in jeans, and the denim clothing would fall apart easily. To help jeans last a bit longer, Levi Strauss designed them with rivets or tiny studs in the problem areas to help reinforce them. While we tend to do our more arduous task in sturdier clothing these days, jeans can still suffer from the same wear and tear, hence why we're still sporting those little rivets. Number 9. Fabric swatch with new clothing. You may have thought that swatch of fabric that came with your new dress was a replacement piece should you rip it. Sure, that could be a viable use, but the manufacturer of that article of clothing provided you with that small piece to test different detergents and washing methods on. You never really know how an article of clothing will react to bleach or specific detergents, but this swatch takes the mystery out of it. Number 8. Airplane window hole. If you've ever flown and sat by the window seat, chances are you've noticed the small hole in the window and questioned why it was there. Well, one function is to keep condensation from building and impeding your view. But there's a far more important use that the airline actually cares about. Essentially, the hole, which is in the middle of the 3 panes of acrylic, helps equalize pressure between the cabin and the gap between the middle and outer pane, ensuring that the higher pressure is applied to the outer pane. Number 7. Toothpaste color line. Maybe you've never noticed it, but your tube of toothpaste has a small colored line on the crimp. While it was once claimed that the color of this line indicated whether the toothpaste was all natural or not, the real purpose has nothing to do with the consumer and hidden knowledge of toothpaste color coding. All that line represents is the point where the tube is cut during the packaging process. Known as the eye mark, a light beam sensor reads the line and tells the machine to cut and fold the tube. Number 6. Mystery oven drawer. Maybe you've been using it to store excess pans, but there's a chance that the bottom drawer of your oven has an actual use. In some models, it is just used for storage, but in others, it's actually a warming drawer. If you're afraid of overcooking something that simply just needs to be kept warm, this drawer can be a lifesaver. Number 5. Bottle cap liner. Underneath most beverage bottle caps, you'll find a thin plastic disc that seems to be barely sitting in place. It looks inconsequential, but this simple, flimsy disc of plastic serves an important purpose to the packaging and distribution of beverages. These discs or liners are in place to guarantee a proper seal, ensuring that carbonated beverages remain so and keeping liquids from spilling out during transit. A variety of materials are used for these discs, from foam commonly found in shampoo caps to plastisol, often used for metal thread caps. Number 4. Holes on the bottom of Converse. They look like they're just for show, but the holes at the bottom of your Converse sneakers serve a purpose. Sure, they're good for ventilation, but they're also used for bar lacing, a method of lacing your shoes that keeps them tighter around your foot. It's an added step while lacing your shoes normally, but if you're having problems with the size of your Converse, these 2 holes can keep you from having to buy a new pair of shoes. Number 3. Padlock hole. Right next to the keyhole on most padlocks is a small circular hole. It may look like a fail-safe you could use to break into the lock should you forget the key, but it's actually intended to guarantee the stability and sturdiness of the padlock over time. Known as a drain hole, it lets water drain out of the lock to keep it from rusting and to keep water from freezing in the lock. Additionally, if you find your key not turning smoothly, a little WD-40 dripped into the hole can rectify the issue. Number 2. Wire Ferrite cores. You know that bulbous-looking addition on some of your cables? It's typically cylindrical and found at one end of the cord. It's known as a Ferrite core, and though it actually looks more cosmetic than anything, It serves a very important purpose. The cores, which are often composed of a magnetic iron oxide grouping, is used to prevent high-frequency electromagnetic interference in your electronics. I know, in English. Think of that annoying noise you get if you hold a phone close to a speaker. That's interference that a ferrite core would diminish. Number 1. Score lines on box cutter blades. They're not present on every box cutter blade, but you may notice that some, like a snap-off utility knife, use blades with score lines running on them. As you notice your blade getting dull, these lines are used to snap the dulled part of the blade off, allowing you to get the most out of the entire blade. Even more fascinating than the score mark's use is its history. The original design comes from the Olfa Corporation and was inspired by chocolate bars that are broken into segments. Thanks for watching. Don't hesitate to leave us a comment with your thoughts and to hit that thumbs up button if you liked this video.